Hey everyone, today on Classic Action Figures, we are going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Jedha Revolt 4-pack from Hasbro. These figures are in the 3 3/4 inch scale, and the set retails for about $25. Here's a quick look at the front of the box. You can see all 4 characters included: Jyn Erso, the hover tank pilot, Saw Gerrera, and the bounty hunter Idrio Two Tubes. You can also see a very cool illustration on the right side of the box. And on the back of the box, we see some character description for each of the 4 characters. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at each figure. Let's start with Jyn Erso. She's a nicely detailed figure with a pretty good sculpt and paint job. I like the way the character looks here, and they did a good job capturing her likeness in this scale. There are some nice details in the figure, like the scarf, the vest, and the color accents on the jacket. She comes with a nice looking blaster that can be stored on her holster. This figure was previously available with one of those big projectile guns, so if you haven't bought that version, you might want to skip it and get this one instead. The second figure is the hover tank pilot. It is also a very nicely done figure with great attention to detail in the sculpt. My figure does have a bit of an issue with the paint on the front of the pants, but otherwise the paint job is well done. He comes with a nicely detailed blaster that has some wash effects. However, he doesn't have a holster for him to carry his blaster. The third figure is Saw Gerrera, and I really like the sculpt and the detail on the body of the figure. The likeness to Forrest Whitaker is pretty good for the scale, and the paint details found on the figure are also very good. I especially like the details on his chest, his arms, his tunic, and his sandals. He comes with a walking cane and a blaster that can be stored on his hip holster. And finally, we have the bounty hunter Idrio Two Tubes. I'm not sure if that is how you pronounce his name, but this one is my favorite figure in the pack, and he looks awesome. He comes with a long-range rifle that is done in a plain brown color, but otherwise it is nicely sculpted. The figure has a fantastic sculpt, and the paint job is quite excellent as well. I especially like the details on the face, the tubes, and his breathing apparatus, and also the details on his tunic. Sadly, all of these figures had the basic 5 points of articulation that are the standard for 3 3/4 inch figures. There's a ball joint on the head, so it can move mainly side to side, but also a bit back and forth. The arms rotate, and the legs can kick backwards and forwards. Idrio is the only figure that can't kick backwards at all. This, of course, is the biggest drawback with the figures. It's a shame that Hasbro has done a fantastic job with the sculpt and paint, but the lack of articulation really detracts from them. It's impossible to get any kind of cool poses with these figures. The set costs $25, which isn't bad, considering we're getting the first ever versions of Saw Gerrera and Idrio from the Rogue One movie. I wish these figures had better articulation, so that is the only reason for me not to give this set a high recommendation. Otherwise, the set would be a must-buy. Anyway, I hope you liked this review. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more toy reviews on classic action figures. And until next time, take it easy.